Time now for your forewarned weather with Chief Meteorologist Alana Brophy.
Okay, weather really the top story here on your Thursday flood watch. Those are the magic words, Alana.
Yeah, in the southern half of the state, we've seen a beautiful day with above average temperatures for northern Utah. We hit the 80s. Okay, that is way above average. But before we talk where we're dry, let's start with where we're soggy. Live view right now coming from I-70 storm clouds. It's raining right now on this camera. This is in Sevier County, and we know that places like Richfield, Sigurd, Sevier County, Aurora, all of these spots dealing with some heavy rain right now, and that's going to continue as this band of storms continues to push north. But you can see while we have sunshine, the rain is coming down on I-70. Forewarned radar shows quiet conditions for most of the Wasatch Front. Let's zoom in because notice now towards Payson, we've got a thunderstorm cell and some moisture that's moving towards the tip of Utah Lake. We could get some active conditions in Utah County this evening. Slight chance for Salt Lake, but we knew there could be an isolated chance for portions of central Utah. Here we go. With that lightning over Emery, Salina, Gunnison to Farron, near Hanksville. We've watched as it's continued to push north, and it's brought heavy rain with it. Richfield still dealing with soggy conditions. We started with that camera at the top of the hour with heavy rain coming down. Quiet right now in portions of southern Utah, which is a bit of a break. They were active throughout the day. As we look towards Monticello and Blanding, some echoes of moisture there. And then I know we're looking at the West Desert, but I'm keeping my eye on Caliente, Nevada, because that line of storms is going to push into the West Desert overnight, and we have some nocturnal activity ahead. As we check out the satellite radar, you see the progression of that surge of moisture as it moves in and in the last few hours continues to track north. We're going to continue with that deep tropical moisture throughout the state. It's going to fill in. That's why our flood watch holds on. It just means we've got moisture potential and the chance of flooding for central, eastern, and southern Utah through Saturday evening. So this threat isn't going away anytime soon. Today's our first day, and it's going to expand as we head into tomorrow, our Friday. Live view from the Black Desert Skycam. We've got cloud cover, but it's currently dry in Ivins. We were matching temperatures, Salt Lake and St. George, which you know is different. That clouds have made it to Tooele County. Live view from northern Utah. Temperatures were warm today. Those low 80s when our average is the upper 60s. Looking at the numbers right now, sitting at 81. I believe we topped out at 84 in Salt Lake, 82 in Ogden. You can tell Price, Emery, where those 60s have shown up. This is where we've seen wet weather, and the numbers were driven down. 70s for the I-15 corridor, 81 in St. George. 70 in Moab. We're keeping eastern Utah in our thoughts because they will get some wet weather as well. 70s to 60s with the chance of storms by 9 p.m. Increasing cloud cover continues. It was so warm, the bars just go, no, we're going to go to the banner. That's when you know something's changed because our average temperatures this time of year are not typically the 80s. Let's look at the setup as we head into tomorrow. You've got an upper level low off the Pacific Northwest, and then there's an area of high pressure. So we've got rotation around the high that's clockwise and a counterclockwise flow around the low. Those work together, and so that is what intensifies that moisture surge because we're grabbing the moisture and pushing it further into Utah. So that's going to aid in rainfall. Our scattered storms set up for tomorrow with the heaviest moisture on the eastern side of the state, but everyone could possibly see a scattered thunderstorm. Friday looks active, so does Saturday. Our excessive rainfall threat, slight risk in yellow, that expands tomorrow. That means you have a 15% risk of flash flooding in a 25-mile radius. The green is a marginal risk. That's an elevated threat that goes into Salt Lake County. Probable flash flooding in all of the locations that you love to visit in south central, southeastern Utah. Saturday, that slight risk holds on in eastern Utah. The entire state has a marginal risk, which means any storm that comes through packs heavy rain. Precip potential loves the Wasatch Front Saturday, loves eastern Utah Saturday, and that extends all the way to the south. Let's look at these storms on the move. Futurecast shows those storms by 9 p.m. into central Utah. Another round down south. There's that line I'm talking about. That moves into the West Desert. Nocturnal storms, and we see by early tomorrow morning, some of the later half of the morning commute could see some soggy conditions. Moisture down I-15, eastern Utah, and the central and northern portion of the state get wet weather, and then we head into Saturday. So periods of precipitation expected here, and we have heavier precip on Saturday with a cold front that comes through Saturday night into Sunday. That cold front by Sunday night will drop snow levels to about 7,000 feet, 3 to 6 inches for the top peaks of the Uintas and the Wasatch. 70s for tomorrow, 80s in St. George. Looking at the next 7 days, you're going to notice those temperatures in southern Utah cooler because we we've got storms Friday, Saturday, and even isolated storm potential Sunday. The Wasatch Front is going to follow a similar pattern here. We drive by next week. Utes game, go Utes. That's going to be on Saturday. That cold front comes through, and it could be soggy with possibly some lightning as those thunderstorms take over along that frontal boundary. We're going from the 70s to the 50s with wet weather arriving yet again, coming off of a record rainfall weekend last weekend, and we're going to do it again. So we're hopeful, but we know heavy rain's coming.
Okay, something to be aware of. But Wes has something to say. I can feel
Lightning
it.
at Utah?
Yeah. I think there's a possibility along that frontal boundary, which
Yikes.
crosses between 6 to 9. I do think that you could see delay.
And they're going to get a lot of rain down in Tucson for the BYU game.
Tons.
Be careful, everybody.
Tons.
Stay inside.
We train in the desert, but we're ready for the rain.
For all of it that's coming.